Hey there, today's the first day of my new trailer makeover. I got rid of my 7 by 14 foot trailer months ago and replaced it with an 8.5 by 20 foot trailer. Let me say, it feels so much larger, both towing and in terms of space available. It's taken me several months to come up with a plan on how I want to set up the inside of this trailer. Lots of video watching and day-to-day use. There's no one plan that works for all of us. We all use our trailers in different ways and in different environments. A couple of the more popular designs I've seen on YouTube are from Ron Paulk, lots of videos on those, and Jack over at The Bearded Builder. Check their channels out when you have time. My conditions are slightly different than both of their setups. In particular, I primarily work on automatic vehicle gates, video surveillance and access control systems, and wireless systems. I spend a fair amount of time driving on dirt roads like this. While I see the point of not having stuff tied down, my stuff would be all over the place after 2 minutes going down these roads. Even our highways around here have some pretty wicked, what I call loop-de-doos, and my stuff, again, moves all over the place. So I understand what they're saying about not tying stuff down because it makes it hard to get to, but given my driving conditions, I'm going to need stuff to be tied down. Another one of the challenges for me is that I'm a one-man shop. I always have to keep my trailer available to potentially head out on a service call. I have commitments to be on site within 4 hours, so I can't just dump everything out of my trailer to build this. So I'm going to have to kind of do this in sections. But for now, I finally have a plan. At least in my head, I have a plan. Today, I'm going to show you how I'm going to set up the right side of the trailer, in particular how I've decided to do the cable rack for the spools of cable that I carry on a day-to-day basis. Alright, so first, before we get started redoing things, let's kind of show you how I got things set up now. I've got my generator, I've got a 6-drawer unit up here that I keep miscellaneous bolts and nuts and hardware and connectors. I've got this shelf that I pulled from my old 7.5 by 14 foot trailer, and what's happening is these keep falling off on me, kind of same. I got my glow rods up top there, they're falling off all the time. You know, I got some loose bin storage going on down there. I got my packouts. I got another set of drawers here. You can see basically it's a mess. So I'm just kind of giving you a before look here of what we got going on. I'm going to try and reincorporate these into the new unit. I'm not really sure how yet, but we're going to try and figure it out. I've got the toolbox, which in the old trailer went east-west, I guess. You know, perpendicular to the way the trailer travels, and that worked a lot better, although I'm going to leave it sideways and planning to move it over to this side. So what happens every time I start and stop now, my tools inside go top to bottom, you know, fill up one end of the drawers. Oops, stepped on that strut. So the first step is I want to leave my generator back here, and I want to leave the cable over here, but I'm going to go up with it. So I'm going to build a shelving unit today, and it's going to go here, and then I'll probably move the toolbox over there, and packouts are going to go into the front, and a bench along this side. So we'll see what happens. The other thing, originally I was going to leave my ladder kind of with some strut straight across. I'm still not sure on that. I don't want to lower it too much, so every time I walk in here with my hard hat I'm whacking my head, but we're going to measure it out and see. Making good progress. So we got 2 rows for cables, boxes on the bottom, and the smaller rolls. You can see what I did is I put a little drop down here. The bigger ones fit in fine, and then just a shelf on top should be sufficient. I'm going to frame this area in here and then move the toolbox over to that spot. See, I've got it anchored to the top. Little quick update. So after day 1 I had to go on a service call, so I had to quit with the toolbox still over on this side. Spent about an hour driving on the highway and an hour on dirt roads, and all of this stayed in place. So pretty pleased with that. So let's take a little closer look at it. So I made my cable rack, and you can see I got some temp boxes there. The challenge for me is a one-guy shop. I've got to keep my trailer where I can still work. So, you know, well, I got this over here. I kind of had to leave this open. I'm going to do the Ron Paulk style bench from here down there, and then my pack outs will go up in the front. But first step was getting this cable rack in, and the toolbox moved out of the way over to here. So you can see I've got my ladder set up top. It probably would stay in place on its own. I got a little L bracket there and an L bracket there, and on the back side I got a couple L brackets as well. So the ladder really can't move, but like I said, I do some driving on dirt roads, so I was worried about it kind of jumping up on me. So I did put a single strap up and over just for ease of mind, if you will. The cable rack I think is going to work out real well. You know, it's just strut. Got a 5-foot piece here going down the front, and for my smaller rolls I just dropped a piece down underneath so they wouldn't fall through. On the bottom it's big enough. I got about 3 more of those rolls to get in here, and then ultimately the bottom will just be boxes is my plan. And then I got a little room for some pack outs up here. And I do have a slot down the back for my 10-foot ladder, and if I walk around the front, you'll see what I'll probably do is put some sort of shelf here that will eventually be probably home for my glow rods and long drill bits. And then up top here, what I'll do is I'm going to stick some 10-foot stuff, so maybe a couple pieces of strut and maybe some 3/4 inch conduit I like to keep with me. I used to have a conduit tube up top, but you can see construction is relatively easy. Got some 90s on the bottom, 90s along the sides, and I'm connected to the vertical studs on the trailer here at the top, and I spaced this out to move my toolbox, and I've just got it kind of compressed in there with these 90s. Probably see it better on this side. So yeah, I just took some 90s and they hold the bottom box in place. Did that on all 4 corners. It's really solid, and pretty pleased with it. The one thing you won't find in this video is a bunch of measurements and details on how much strut I used or how long my pieces are. And that's because this design could be used on your needs. You know, this is what worked for me, but for example, my spool reel cabinet rack, whatever we're calling it, is 5 feet long, but maybe you wanted yours 8 foot. So what I would do in that case is do 3 of the vertical pieces, 1 at each end and 1 in the middle. I wouldn't go more than 5 feet for the spans, but you could go up to 10 feet, and same with the depth. You know, I went about 18 inches, but maybe you want to go 20, or maybe you only want to go 12. So you can take my design from this video and kind of make it meet your needs. It is an 1 5/8 strut slotted, you know, where I'm coming up with the verticals. It's a 1-hole, 2-hole 90, so 1 hole goes in the side and then 2 holes this way. That way your piece of strut that goes down the front can go the long way, and then your shorter piece goes in that second hole. That you should be able to see in the video. And you could really do 4 shelves or 3, depending on your spacing. The flexibility's there with the strut to do it in a manner that works for you. So that's about it. Like I said, I'm pretty pleased with it, and I'll pick up here on this side next. And appreciate the subscription. Go ahead and smash that button. Let me know if you have any recommendations. And that's about it. Thanks.